you hearing about Drew?
Hi, Sam. Hey, guys, you just heard Adam a few minutes ago talk about this workout on Monday. Drew was out with the trainers. Well, right after he worked out, the first thing he did was text head coach Sean Payton, "I'm ready to go." And Payton tells me that that's when he knew that Drew was going to be back to start a quarterback against the defending Super Bowl champions. You know, and Sam, I asked Payton, "Are you sure this is the right decision?" He said, first of all, the doctors cleared him. Second of all, Drew and I have been together for over a decade. We've got tons of trust. He's a really smart guy. And most importantly, he's not going to do anything to hurt this team. He said he looked really good in practice. Taysom Hill told me Drew looked fantastic. And speaking of Taysom Hill, I talked to Tyrann Mathieu on Thursday, right? So Thursday, the news wasn't out yet. And I asked him about this Chiefs game plan. What are you guys doing? You don't know who's the quarterback. He said, we're preparing heavily for Taysom Hill, and it's actually harder for us. All due respect to the future Hall of Fame quarterback in Drew Brees, Taysom's more challenging. We don't know what he's going to do. He's so mobile. Well, now the Chiefs, they got to face both these guys. And out on the field, guys, you're not going to be able to see it with your own eyes. But sewn in Drew Brees' uniform is going to be this protective vest. He wears it all the time. And this company Unequal sent him 2 weeks ago this vest. My producer, Brian Franey, is going to step into the shot here. And we're to just demonstrate the technology and the protective gear that's in this to make sure he doesn't re-injure this. So right here is the padding, Sam. Up here as well. It's not in the front. So right here is where obviously the ribs and the lungs will be. So I'm going to give him just a medium to high hit here. How's that feel?
No pain, but I can feel it.
All right, well, obviously Drew Brees is going to be getting hit with a bat today. Thanks for doing that. But he's certainly going to have to deal with a very fierce Chiefs pass rush. And obviously the Saints are going to be doing everything they can to keep their quarterback on their feet today, Sam.
Were Brian's eyes watering? I think I might have seen a little tear.
I know she can swing harder than that. I know she can swing harder than that.
Trying to be kind. Look, it is concerning, and it totally makes sense what she said about Sean and Drew knowing each other so well. They're not going to put him out there if they think he's not ready, but this is a serious injury, and obviously there's a lot at stake for Drew. You've had this injury before, maybe not 11 broken ribs,
similar.
but what's this going to be like for Drew today?
Well, listen, a huge difference between a Monday practice and then playing in a game on Sunday. Like, you can get through a practice as a quarterback, you wear the red jersey, don't touch me, don't get near me. That's not what Sunday is like. And I can remember going into games, you know, coming off of fractured ribs, where I actually wasn't even sure if I could finish the game. Like, I knew I could start the game, but I didn't know if I could finish the game. And I'll tell a quick funny story, like, it's embarrassing, but back in the day, we used to play fantasy football, like with the equipment guys, athletic trainers, teammates. I put myself on the bench before we played a game against Jacksonville in 2009 because I was like, there's no way I'm finishing this game with this rib injury. Like, I'll go out there, you know? And I started Brett Favre instead of me. And like, you can kind of, like, I didn't know how I was going to go. I ended up playing well, outscoring Brett Favre on my own fantasy bench. But I think the point is, I don't think Drew Brees really knows. Like, he's obviously got a wealth of experiences to, like, hey, Sean, this is what I think I can do. But I don't think he really knows. And that hit that he took to injure the ribs and the lung, it was a violent hit. But 5 years ago, that was a legal hit. Like, that's a football play. I would expect more hits just like that today. And for him, there's got to be a seed of doubt. Like, until he takes those first couple big hits, like, hey, can I really finish this game?
Matt, how do you know with a rib injury like that? How do you know when you're ready? Like, what's the sign?
I think the best way to find out is have Diana take the bat and just start swinging away. Like, yeah, I guess I'm ready to go. You're not really going to know until you take that first giant hit when a 300-and-something-pound guy lands right on you. And, you know, fortunately for him, I think the rules protect quarterbacks a little bit better now than they did at the beginning of his career. But truly and honestly, just from experience, you do not know. You're putting on a good face. Hey, coach, I can do it. Hey, teammates, I can do it. I would not be surprised at all if he's whispering to his buddy Taysom Hill, hey, man, be ready today. Be ready today. The team might need you.
You know,
go ahead.
I'm glad Drew Brees is back at his role, and you're able to see Taysom Hill get back to his role. And the reason why is because the absence of Michael Thomas before Drew Brees got hurt. Who held the fort down? Alvin Kamara, Taysom Hill. Well, now Michael Thomas has went back to the bench with an ankle injury. So we need Taysom Hill back at his position. There's one stat that really stands out to me that I really think is key of Drew Brees' return. When Taysom Hill has been in there for the month, the New Orleans Saints has averaged 24 points. We always wondered, where did Alvin Kamara go? With Drew Brees, before he got injured, the New Orleans Saints was averaging 30 points a game. Guess what Kansas City Chiefs average, Rex? They averaged 31 points a game. So you talking about a game that Drew Brees needed to come back. Like I said, before he left, they were averaging 30. Taysom Hill held the fort down, rightfully so, for the New Orleans Saints. But with Michael Thompson's absence, they need Taysom Hill's back at his role, and I need to see how Taysom Hill is going to play for the New Orleans Saints on third down.
Yeah, and to win the championship, you need Drew Brees there at quarterback. I don't think it can be done with Taysom Hill. I mean, he's got to play great 3-4 games in a row. And this secondary for the Kansas City Chiefs, this defense, I mean, this is big boy football. You're going to have to score if you're the New Orleans Saints because Tyrann Mathieu was back there. Diana said she talked to him. He's more worried about preparing for Taysom Hill. But his instincts and his pass route combination type of deciphering, that's exactly what's going to be necessary. He made a play last week that they talked about how he doesn't have any business making this play because he has got this tight end man-to-man in 3rd and 7. The tight end blocks, and Mathieu automatically starts to look for work. Now, a lot of players would just sit right there and watch that tight end. But watch what your Honey Badger does. He gets back like 40 yards deep, reading the quarterback, continue to have his eyes on his man-to-man coverage, and after this tips and overthrows, and he does. And the bets do right there, 40 yards down the field. This is the type of shark, if you will, they have in the secondary. Drew Brees is used to playing against this man. You need Drew Brees to win this game. This has to be done. It's week 15, fellas.
Yes.
It's time. You get back in there. I think Peyton and Brees have that relationship. I'm good to go, Coach. I'll let you know if I need to come out. You can use Taysom if you want, but this is the time. The best in the business, the Kansas City Chiefs, are coming into town. It's time to play some football.
Yeah, it is. And, Brew, you know as well as I do, what would we be doing with Drew Brees back there coming off of that kind of injury? We're hitting him every time.
You sending pressure?
I'm sending pressure. I'm hitting him. I don't even care. I'll throw his lineman on him. We are trying to hit him. Every time he drops back the pass, we're trying to hit him. And for the, I mean, whatever we do, don't put him out there at wide out because now it's a beatdown. That's what you do. I mean, that's our job is to make you uncomfortable. Believe me, we're going to do it today. So Diana talked about you better be ready to see both these guys at quarterback today. I think we're going to see both of them. Maybe a little more Taysom Hill than maybe what people think also.
Yeah, you got to be concerned about the sacks you saw last week, too, when Taysom Hill was out there. The Eagles' defense sacking him 5 times. They're going to see a better defense, obviously, in the Chiefs today, so that's a concern when you've got an injured quarterback who, like Matt said, you don't know what you're going to get out there today until he takes his first hit. Let's get down to Washington, though, because there's a guy trying to hit somebody down there. That would be Mr. Chase Young, who gets his first chance to get after Russell Wilson, who's been so good on the road, so good in the Eastern time zone, but can he handle the star rookie out there today? For more on what's coming up on Countdown, let's get back